Montana Lemonious-Craig, we mentioned him earlier. This is an interesting one for me, Saul. Everywhere this guy goes, the coaching staffs love him. Listen, he was a highly rated kid coming out of Inglewood, California. He was a mid-4-star player. Looking at Greg Biggins right now. Projects as an NFL player if he can gain some explosion. High points the ball very well. What you're looking for in a wide receiver at the high major level. Projects as a multi-year high major starter. So he starts at Colorado. And in the spring game last year, before he transfers to Arizona, he has 4 catches for 106 yards in the spring game. Dion didn't want him to leave. Comes to the U of A, and the coaching staff loved him to the point last year where he didn't really come off the field much. And I think at some point, though, the rub is you need to be able – listen, I know it's great if you're a blocker. Totally get that. But you also got to be able to catch the football, and when you're out there the whole time, I need more than 300 yards. That's where I'm at with him. All these coaching staffs love him. Bobby Wade said he's one of the leaders in the room. I would like to see him break through this year, Saul.
I feel like he is. I feel like he is. He's the one guy that I feel like I'm not even concerned about. I really do think that he's going to have a stellar season. I think he's going to be a great number 2 to T-Mac. Right. And I'm sure that the assessment over the course of the offseason has been, we need to develop Montana, because if we do that and he can find that next level, we will have 2 wideouts that are NFL caliber, and that will completely change the dynamic of this team, because you can't really focus on one over the other. You have to be able to identify both, which is what it's going to open up the dump passes for the running backs. It's going to open up the middle for the tight ends. It's going to do a lot of things for this offense. So hopefully that's the case for in terms of Montana.
Yeah, now the other guy that I'm big on is Malachi Riley. He is my breakout player on offense, Saul Bookman. I am a big fan of Malachi Riley. Not T-Mac. Noah Fafita brought him up. Brennan brought him up. He really played well in camp last year. A lot of people didn't understand why he didn't play necessarily more. But Bobby Wade has said, and I'm excited to see this, Saul. I really am. He said, I've got a good receiving room. I got 5-6 dudes that can play. They're all going to be in there. I think last year, it was difficult at times because I thought there were players that could have contributed a little bit more. But, Jed's thing was we're only going to play 3 wide receivers. I get it. Every coach is different. I like that Bobby Wade is saying we're going to move this around. We're going to put a lot of different dudes in there and different opportunities. So guys are going to have opportunities if they're good. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, I do think that the wide receiver group and the rotations of the wide receiver group will give everybody an opportunity to really showcase what they got, especially in the first 2 games.
Right.
And then from there, you kind of assess, okay, let's give this guy a little bit more reps. Let's take these reps away from this guy, so on and so forth. Right. So it'll be a constant movement. I didn't focus as much on the offense because I feel like the biggest questions have always been the defense.